Hi, my name is Coldbear and let's start with Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. This is a strategy and stealth-based game, meaning that you can shoot your way through the enemies, sneak up behind them without being traced, hack systems to retrieve information, or use your social skills to extract information from key characters. There are always choices, multiple approach possibilities, multiple paths, and multiple tools at your disposal. Game's main story will take about 15 hours of your boring life, so it's kinda short. The Sims 4. I probably don't need to tell you what Sims is, but for those who don't know, I will explain. This is the game where you can torture human beings in various ways. You can put them into a room without food, water, and doors, leave them in the pool for hours, or take all the toilets away. You must be a really sick and twisted person to play this game and enjoy it. Amnesia: The Dog Descent. This is a cute castle simulator where you're gonna meet many new friends. Well, those friends are kinda shy, so if you look at them, you die. Exactly this mechanic helped Amnesia conquer the world of video games, and also it made PewDiePie famous. Yes, this is a fact. If you never play the game, be sure to not play alone. I mean, it's a single-player game, so play with a crowd behind your back. Everyone will have a great laugh while watching you piss your pants in fear. Also, Amnesia has a great plot, and it's one of the most notable games of the past decade in general. Terraria. A flat version of Minecraft, if you don't mind, although more beautiful, with more special effects and more dynamic fights. Here you can craft hundreds of items, build houses or even castles in any form you desire, defeat waves of enemies and dig down below to encounter some unspeakable horrors. Terraria is a fun game, but it's more fun if you can play it with your friends. Batman: Arkham Knight. Here Batman faces the ultimate threat against the city that he is sworn to protect, as Scarecrow returns to unite the super criminals of Gotham and destroy Batman once and for all. Well, the plot is kinda usual blah blah. You are Batman and you kill bad guys.
Duh.
Also here you will have a Batmobile to move around, and that is awesome! Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews, so if you're not a fan of Batman, this result of overall satisfaction should at least spark your curiosity. Darkest Dungeon. I feature this game a lot in my videos, and this is not a coincidence. It is really good. This is a challenging, gothic, roguelike, turn-based RPG about the psychological stresses of adventuring. Here you train and lead a team of weird heroes through twisted forests, forgotten warrens, ruined crypts, and beyond. You'll battle not only unimaginable foes, but stress, famine, disease, and terrifying darkness. Unravel strange mysteries and pit the heroes against an array of fearsome monsters with an innovative strategic turn-based combat system. It is a great game, you have all my recommendations. Don't Starve. Here you play as Wilson, a gentleman scientist who has been trapped by a demon and transported to a mysterious wilderness world. You must learn to exploit this environment and its inhabitants if you ever hope to escape and find your way back home. Although be warned, you will not be given any instructions, no help, no hand-holding. Here you will start with nothing and craft, hunt, research, farm and fight to survive. The game is really challenging, but it is also one of the best games for survival fans. Graveyard Keeper. Here you can make candles from human fat, burn witches, or even sell human flesh to the local tavern. Graveyard Keeper is the most accurate medieval cemetery management sim of all time, because there are no other medieval cemetery management games. You may like it if you play titles like Stardew Valley and dark humor doesn't offend you somehow. Little Nightmares. This is a really beautiful platformer, and at the same time it is spooky like your mother-in-law. Game is a dark, whimsical tale that will confront you with your childhood fears, and it will also evoke the fears that you will never knew you even had. Also, this game is pure art. It is morbid and odd, but it's an art, that is no doubt one of the best platformer games I have ever played. Outlast and Outlast 2. This first-person horror game became a classic soon after the release. Here you are no fighter. If you encounter a horror, you have only 3 options: run, hide, or die. It is definitely one of the scariest games I have ever played. It has a good story, nice ending, and more jump scares that you can possibly imagine. If you have a weak heart, like I do, it would be even more fun. Second part, Outlast 2, is also great, but it is set in a totally different place. While in the first Outlast you explore a terrifying asylum, in the second part your helicopter crashes near a village full of crazy people. Not as crazy as your ex-girlfriend, but still really terrifying. Age of Empires Definitive Edition. All the previously released content is included into the game with modernized gameplay, new enhanced graphics, and a bunch of new and updated features, like new narration and pacing, 8-player multiplayer battles, 4K resolution, scenario builder, traversable farms, slightly more aggressive AI, slightly better pathfinding, rehauled UI, and rebalanced technologies and units. But in general, don't expect miracles, it's just an old game with a new face. Firewatch. One of the most immersive games I have ever played, Firewatch is a single-player first-person mystery set in a year of 1989. You are a man named Henry who has retreated from his messy life to work as a fire lookout in some forested area. Perched high atop a mountain, it's your job to look for a smoke and keep the wilderness safe. But it's not a game about firemen or about putting out fires in the forest. No, it's a murder mystery game instead. XCOM 2. Aliens are the rulers of the Earth and you can do nothing about it. Oh wait, actually you can, and this is all what you will do here. Kick some alien ass, or some other place if they have no asses. You know, it's hard to live without an ass, so maybe that's why those aliens are so angry and envious. Anyway, here you will have to regain control of the Earth. It may sound easy, and it is, because you are awesome, and Alien sucks. Show them who's the boss. Metro 2033 Redux. Beneath the ruins of post-apocalyptic Moscow in the tunnels of Metro, the remnants of mankind are besieged by deadly threats from outside and from within. Mutants stalk the catacombs beneath the desolate surface and hunt in the poisoned skies above. This is one of the greatest first-person shooters games ever, with a rich storyline and a great, you know, shooting. For this price, it's a steal, and now it's the time for you to press that subscribe button. Usually, when I drink vodka, I think about boobs, but if you press subscribe right now, next time I will think about you, my friend. Thanks, you are the best. Inside. Guys who created Limbo later created this masterpiece, and I'm not exaggerating, the game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam for a reason. People are talking that Inside is one of the most atmospheric games they have ever played. Beautiful graphics, great controls, and interesting puzzles to solve will keep you pinned to your chair for about 4 hours, because this game is really short but worth every penny, and this price is more than right. Shadow of Mordor. As people say, this game is a mix of Batman, Assassin's Creed, and The Witcher games, but only the true Lord of the Rings fan can feel the whole amazingness of this game. The graphics and the world captures the essence of Middle-earth absolutely perfectly. Combat is really satisfying, the story is great, and the game itself will take about 20 hours of your boring life. Darkwood. This survival horror game is all about immersion, and it will drag you in so hard you won't be able to escape, and also it will grow some balls on your hairs. Here, by day you explore the randomly generated ever-sinister woods, scavenge for materials, craft weapons, and discover new secrets, and by night you find shelter, barricade yourself inside abandoned buildings, set up traps, and hide or defend yourself from the horrors of the Darkwood. It's a great game, you have all my recommendations. Transistor. It's made by the same company who created the critically acclaimed game Hades, so the graphic style and gameplay may look familiar to some of you because Hades is a great game. Sadly, it's way more expensive, so it's not on this list. Transistor is a sci-fi themed action RPG that invites you to wield an extraordinary weapon of unknown origin as you fight through the stunning futuristic city. That weapon is obviously very heavy, or maybe it's made out of plastic and you are just a really weak hero. Maybe your mama never gave you potato salad and marinated herring when you were little. That's a shame. In reviews, people are praising great music of the game, but often bashes the combat mechanics where you have to stop the action to take actions, and then you unpause the game to continue the battle. Not for everyone, that's for sure. Fallout New Vegas. This is probably the best Fallout game ever created, including classic games and new. Fallout New Vegas outshines them all, like potato salad outshines any other salad, or like shalti borshche outshines any other pink cold soup. Best story, best gameplay, and best immersion are guaranteed. Game was created not by Bethesda but by Obsidian, the same guys who made Pillars of Eternity, Knights of the Old Republic 2, and The Outer Worlds. So the quality is here, and it will be a great game for you if you can, withstand a bit older graphics. Bastion. another game from creators of Hades. This is an action role-playing experience that redefines storytelling in games, with a reactive narrator who marks your every move. Here you can explore more than 40 lush, hand-painted environments, find more than 10 upgradable weapons, enjoy gamepad support, and discover the secrets of the Calamity, a surreal catastrophe that shattered the world to pieces. The game doesn't have a huge replay value, even if it has a new Game Plus setting, but for this price it's one of the best deals you can get, that's for sure. Dishonored. Here you are the assassin who is given supernatural abilities by a mysterious entity. This is a stealth game, although you can play it as a brute force lover as well. You just have to be way better with controls, because fighting multiple enemies is a real challenge here. The real fun of Dishonored comes in combining all your powers with your weapons and finding your own way through the semi-open world environments. Interesting thing is that the genre of Dishonored is whalepunk, a subgenre of steampunk, where most of the energy is gathered from the hunted whales and their fat. Viktor Vran. Bulgarian developers made a game of which every Bulgarian would be proud of, but so it happened that we like this Bulgarian hack and slash no less than Bulgarians themselves.
Много добра игра.
Yes indeed. It reminds me, you know, when someone most likely in Poland, or maybe in Russia, invented vodka, it became an instant hit in other countries as well, so Viktor Vran is like vodka, you know, in some sense. Great game. The Banner Saga. This is a role-playing Viking game where your strategic choices directly affect your personal journey. Battles in the game are staged in a similar way to Heroes of Might and Magic games. Everything else feels more like a comic or a book or a comic book. So apart from tactical turn-based combats, you'll have to read a lot. Game is not for everyone, but if you can read the label of your favorite vodka, you can probably read this game too. Rage. Whether you are raiding raiders with your fancy boomerang of death, racing your bucket of rust around, or just taking up a harmless addiction to gambling, Rage is an interesting look into life after the end of everything. And that end came along with an asteroid. Not a very ingenious plot, but I guess it's still a better love story than the zombie apocalypse. Monstrum. Game takes the traditional survival horror formula and remixes it completely with procedurally generated levels, permadeath, and AI-driven predators, ensuring that nowhere on this derelict cargo ship is ever truly safe. Yes, you are on a ship, a real ship, not a spaceship, and here you are not alone. If you get killed, that's it. You have to start the game again and escape from different monster in another ship. Basically, this is a first Alien movie reimagined with different monsters and different places, but the plot is kinda the same. You need to get out alive. Second part of this game also exists, but it's so bad I wouldn't play it even if they paid me. Iris and the Giant. This is a fusion of a collectible card game with RPG and roguelike elements. Although don't get me wrong when I say collectible card game, this is strictly a single-player experience. You play as Iris, who must brave her fears in her imaginary world. Behind the game's unique minimalist art style, you will explore a touching story of a young woman facing her inner demons and soothing the raging giant inside. Game is short. It will eat up about 5 hours of your boring life. Rock of Ages. It may not look like one, but believe me, this is one of the most entertaining games I have ever played. Or as developers say, this is a rock-solid combination of rock-rolling action, deep strategy, captivating art, and music from different ages of history. Two castles stand opposed. One is yours, the other is your enemy's. They are a jerk and their castle sucks, so you're going to try to smash it using an enormous boulder. Even as they build up their defenses, you are ready to roll over them in order to raise that pathetic tower of theirs. But beware, there is a giant boulder headed your way as well. Thank you for watching. Now is the time for you to press that subscribe button. Even if you are already subscribed, don't hesitate to click on that notification button as well. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.